kind of theory we are trained in, or the theory that we are doing. And we are also not happy, as Yogenji says, with the way we offer theory to those who consume theory. So our consumers are also not happy with us, and we are not happy either with that. So we are struggling to think of something very differently. The previous generation philosophers who have tried to raise questions on Indian theory have raised serious questions. We have learned from them, but we have also questioned them. We would like to question them. So why are we doing this creative theory? As I said, we are dissatisfied with what we have been doing. And that goes on till now, and probably will continue being dissatisfied. Also, we take those comments very seriously, like Parekh saying that India doesn't have political theory, or somebody saying that Indian theorists are doing mimicry. It's kind of cognitive mimicry or derivative discourse, whatever. We don't agree with them. And I think we also go beyond those questions. I don't think the question is whether we have theory or not. I think we do have theory in our own way, and we have to learn to do theory in our own way. There are difficulties in doing theory, no doubt about it. One of the difficulties is the lack of confidence of not only ours. I don't have time to explain the dialogue that I had with scholars who had said that they didn't have confidence to write something very different. So probably that is the problem with people of this reason. But what are we going to do? What are we doing? I think on few things we are very clear that this we are not doing. For instance, creative theory should not be considered as a post-colonial theory or as a decolonial theory. I think we are not rejecting these arguments, but we want to go beyond that. I remember Professor Ranjit Singh used to ask this question to us: how long will you remain post-colonial? And how much time will you take? Now we should ask, how much time shall we take in decolonizing ourselves? So maybe we should have confidence to go beyond them and start doing certain kind of theories. Second thing is that we want to go beyond being critical and should be creative. Like for long we have been saying that there has been cognitive rupture, we could not continue with our own theoretical frames. But how long shall we keep saying that? As I said, that a lot of scholars who make this argument go to some extent, then take a U-turn. Then they again repeat the same argument that colonialism has ruptured our thought process. I think that time is over. New generations are confident enough to go beyond that and create new ideas. So it's creative. It's not only critical, it's not only post-colonial or decolonial, it's beyond that. It's a creative. One of the questions that keeps coming to us is about the universal. I mean, very short, I'm giving some signpost that our theoretical frame has. On the question of universal, our position is that we do not reject universal. We can't work without universal, but we question all established universals. And that questioning is continuous. So we would argue for emergentist universal, constantly emerging universal. We do not claim that our universal is the best universal or the final universal, but we also don't accept anybody else's universal as final universal. So we invite for a dialogue on universals. What would be the method of that? The term that we use these days is called democratic negotiation. We believe that human beings are homo creativus. Wherever we are, we use our reflexive capacity to solve our problem that generates knowledge. And whatever kind of knowledge produced wherever in the world, that is a common resource of humanity as a whole. And we must engage them without engaging through power. We must ask two questions to all knowledge systems. One, how much explanatory capacity does it have? And two, how much liberative potential it has? These are two questions that should be guiding our negotiation process with different kinds of knowledge traditions. It is not a synthesis. It is not kind of finding a middle ground. It is big critical debate which lead us to creating new ideas. So we are looking for new ideas. What are the intellectual resources we would like to access? Of course, the first one is engaging with civilizations. All civilizations, including Indian civilization, our own knowledge tradition, and we take that as civilizational discourse, and within that we try to understand that. That doesn't mean that we reduced everything to relativism, but we would say that there is a kind of context of emergence of certain ideas, and we take cognizance of that. Second is deep engagement with Indian intellectual traditions. The debate is going on these days. I think one perspective is complete rejection of Indian tradition, which I don't think we would agree with. Other perspective is indigeneity, that it is indigenous, therefore important. I don't think that is also that we will agree with that. Third is identity assertion, that this is our knowledge, therefore it is important. We would say that none of them is important. What is important is whether that knowledge is relevant for a struggle for humanity or not. Can that solve the problem of humanity today or not? So our horizon is not India, it's a universal. I think Hilal will make more comments on that. And the third is, as Professor Monti mentioned, engaging with people's struggle. Not that we idealize that, not that we think that that's the only way to do it, but whatever struggle is going on, we would like to engage with that, be critical to that, but also draw our conceptual categories, our theories from there to explain things. And the last one is engaging with cultural expressions. I think for long we have ignored literature. So engaging with literature, and literature of all kinds, all languages, from there I think we can learn a lot. Social science, I believe, arrived a little late on the horizon. For instance, if we look at the contemporary writings, literary writings, signs are very clear that we are living in a dystopian world. But social science is still not debating about it. So probably that engagement is necessary. And there are many questions that we have. We don't have answers of many questions. For instance, we have question about what kind of methodological innovations we have to do to engage with this fast-changing reality. What kind of theorization we now need to do with the human-technology relationship? So much is changing there. What kind of new struggle we have to visualize for saving democracy today, and globally, not only in one country or two countries. Then on the question of identity politics, I think our theorizations have really not been very well. We need to see if we can retain the importance of identity, yet transform them for liberative struggle. How do we do that? Then, of course, ecology and other issues are there. Human-nature relationships have to be thought differently. And the last is, I think all major utopias have collapsed. And that is one of the things that we are facing at this moment. So what will be the new utopia? What kind of new utopia we can imagine? And that's where I sometimes feel that probably we have to think of new prasthantrayi. So maybe Marx, Gandhi, and Ambedkar could be three different paradigms among which we have to do certain kind of negotiations to arrive on new utopia. So these are the issues that we have in hand. We don't think that we have answers to them. We only invite everybody to participate in this struggle and create a community, a discursive community where we constantly think and engage. I think we are making 5 moves. I'll just take 1 more minute. It is an invitation to recover the confidence to theorize. That's the first thing. We need to move from borrowed concepts to creation of concepts. We have to create new concepts. We have to, the next creative theory colloquium is on concepts. From where and how do we get new concepts? Third, to move from disciplinary isolation to intellectual dialogue with different disciplines, movements, and common people. Fourth, to move from critique to creativity. And fifth, to think with India but never only for India. So these are the 5 moves creative theory, I guess, intends to make from my perspective, but people may have different opinions, and that is the beauty of creative theory. Thank you very much.